All right, here's another video. This is an update of what I've got done so far. It's getting close to being finished. I made the ash thing down on the bottom. Already made it, sealed it in. It's laying around here somewhere. I'd pull it out of there. Anyway, here's this is just a shoddy square. I just welded some stuff together. I'll end up building it a little bit nicer one later. There's the door for it. But anyway, I've almost got this thing set up to where I can actually get the control panel set up. I urge you to go back and watch my other videos on this. Like and subscribe, watch it. It'll explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. I fabricated this out of a old pellet stove, New Englander pellet stove. And it's going to feed just like a pellet stove, but I got rid of the exhaust motor. So all your heat's not being sucked out and blown out outside. It'll travel just like a rocket stove. It'll burn and go up this chute, go up in here, and all of this will be an expansion chamber. It'll be all closed in. You won't see this pipe going up there. It'll be a box welded on top. The heat will come up out here, and as it cools, it will flow down, and the exhaust is right here. I'm getting close to testing it. I've got to get bolts. I got to go to Tractor Supply and get bolts. I lost some of the bolts that was to the back of this. Have no idea where they're at. I've got so many projects going on, so I've got a gasket for that. Going to gasket that. I just don't want nothing escaping out of this thing. But there she be. If you've watched my other videos and followed, you'd know where I was at. Got a cap for this. I might end up cutting this off a little short because it's pretty long. I don't think I'm gonna be feeding anything that long in there, so that might even be able to cut it off about so long. We'll see. I would like to go through, smooth all this stuff off. I'm gonna take something to smooth this off, and I might end up welding a plate on here with something. Welding a plate on here, and then keeping this hole open but flat. Just keep the hole open, but have a surrounding plate and slide down over it. I don't know how it's going to draw yet. It'll have a door, so the flames may not come out of this. I don't want it coming out of this. If the pressure's high enough in here to where air can't, all the heat should travel up this because it can't go nowhere else. So hopefully that's the case. But it will heat this spot up. This will stay warm, but most of your heat will travel. Now I'm going to put some kind of like something that will actually pull heat. So it'll actually be thinner steel, but it'll be in this tube, and it goes all the way up to the top. And it'll be this long, but it'll be thin steel. Maybe crossways, thin steel all the way down in there, maybe 16 gauge or thinner. Stainless steel, probably stainless steel. Now what that'll do is that heat will heat that thing up, and that will allow the heat to travel a little bit better. And also, the hotter it stays in this chamber, the more efficient your burn's going to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insulate this pipe so all the heat's going to stay in here. And then when it comes up out of here, it'll travel down and go out. But I want it hot as can be inside this tube because it's more efficient. It will burn. It won't smoke. I don't get a lot of smoke. I've tested this thing, just threw some pellets down in there. I've tested it. I don't get a lot of smoke. The only time I get smoke is when it starts up and when it's burning out. So it's pretty good as far as that goes. I've still got to weld this around. This is just a test thing. But I will insulate this thing. I'll use some header wrap or something to wrap this up, and some heat resistant, maybe foil or something, and go right over top of that. But like I said, I want that thing to stay hot. And I'm going to do some kind of heat thing inside of it, a coil or something, to keep that thing as hot as possible. That's the trick, because you always want your heat traveling up that pipe. You don't want it coming out into the box. You want it to travel up that thing. And the heat will always rise, so you get enough heat up here, it's got to pull, so it's going to be pulling from the bottom, and that'll keep the fire going. So, like and subscribe. I will do an update as soon as I get bolts put in this thing, get the gasket put on, make sure everything's lined up good, get the hopper put back on. Then I'll, get everything hooked up, all electronics, where I can plug it back in, and we'll test out the feed on it, make sure the feed's still going to work, because you never know. It's been apart for a while. And then I might see how well. I got to get me a grate built that'll actually hold a little heat, little hot coals, but also let the ash fall through. So anybody's got an idea on that, how I can design that, and this is what I'm working with. That's what I've got. But I can't, what's happening is the ash is falling through and it's not holding enough hot coals. I'm getting plenty of air around it. It's just burning up so quick, and the coals just fall right through the bottom. So just, I don't know, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching.